The worst mistake you can make with a woman is thinking she is pulling away when she might actually be watching you. Because sometimes she is not trying to confuse you, she is trying to read you. And if you respond the wrong way, you tell her everything she needed to know. Most men think a test looks dramatic. It usually does not. It looks small, casual, almost accidental. A weird pause, a cold reply, a little challenge, a tiny bit of pressure. And the whole point is simple. She wants to see who you become when things stop going perfectly. Do you get needy? Do you get defensive? Do you lose control? Do you start performing? Or do you stay calm, clear, grounded? That is what she is reading. Not your words, your nervous system. And once you see these moments for what they are, you stop taking them personally. You stop overreacting. You start seeing the pattern. So if she does this, there is a very real chance she is testing you. The first sign is when she suddenly goes a little hot and cold. One day, she is warm, engaged, easy to talk to. Then, out of nowhere, she feels more distant. Her replies get shorter. Her tone changes. The energy drops. Most guys see that and panic instantly. They double text. They ask if something is wrong. They try harder. They become more available than ever. That is exactly what exposes them. Because the test is not about the cold moment itself. It is about what the cold moment unlocks inside you. She wants to see if your confidence only exists when she is making it easy, or if it still exists when she is not feeding you reassurance. That matters psychologically because attraction is heavily tied to emotional stability. If a small shift in her mood wrecks your frame, she feels the weight of that. What should you notice? Notice whether the coldness feels temporary and observational, not openly disrespectful. A test often looks like reduced warmth, not cruelty. The second sign is when she lightly challenges you for no reason. She questions your opinion. She teases your choice. She says something like, "Really? That is your plan?" Or "You do not seem as confident as you act." It sounds minor, but it hits your ego immediately. Most men think she is being difficult. Sometimes she is, but a lot of the time she is checking one thing. Can you handle pressure without becoming weak or aggressive? This is where men fail in two opposite ways. They either fold or they fight. They start explaining themselves too much, or they snap and try to dominate the moment. Both reactions reveal insecurity. Because if you know who you are, you do not need to over-defend it. That is why playful tension matters. She is not just listening to your answer, she is watching your emotional temperature. What should you notice? Notice whether her challenge has a little spark in it, a little smile, a little curiosity. A woman who is testing often pokes, not because she hates you, but because she wants to see how solid you really are. The third sign is when she brings up other men. Not always directly, sometimes it is subtle. She mentions that someone asked for her number. She says her ex used to do something a certain way. She casually reminds you that she has options. And yes, that can be manipulative in some cases, but it can also be a test, because what she is really doing is measuring your internal security. Do you collapse into jealousy? Do you get possessive? Do you start trying to outcompete invisible people? That reaction tells her you are easy to control. The misunderstanding here is that most men think the correct move is to act like they do not care at all. That can backfire too. Cold indifference is not strength. It is often just fear wearing a mask. What she is actually reading is whether you can stay relaxed without becoming submissive. Can you hear that she has options and still move like you know your value does not shrink because of it? That matters because insecurity makes every future interaction heavier. She can feel when you are now performing for approval. What should you notice? Notice if she is dropping the information and then watching you. That pause matters. That is usually where the real test is happening. The fourth sign is when she cancels, reschedules, or changes the plan in a way that creates friction. Not every cancellation is a test. Life happens. But sometimes the change is less about logistics and more about reading your reaction. Most guys instantly make the mistake. They become too accommodating or too offended. They say no worries 3 times, then secretly feel resentful. Or they act hurt and dramatic. Both responses are loud, and both reveal that your mood now depends on her choosing you in the exact way you wanted. What the behavior often means is this. She wants to know if you have standards without being unstable. Can you be flexible without becoming desperate? Can you be direct without becoming bitter? That is psychologically huge, because healthy attraction needs 2 things at once: warmth and structure. If you have no structure, she stops respecting the dynamic. If you only have structure and no ease, the connection feels rigid. What should you notice? Notice whether she offers a real alternative. A woman who is genuinely interested but testing may move the plan, but she usually leaves a door open. The fifth sign is when she asks for small things that reveal your boundaries. It might be a favor, a last-minute request, a small inconvenience, a push to see how much you will bend. This one is sneaky, because on the surface it looks harmless, and sometimes it is harmless. But sometimes she is checking if your desire for her makes you abandon yourself. Most men think passing this test means saying yes to everything, being helpful, being easy, being endlessly available. But constant compliance does not read as strength, it reads as fear of losing access. The deeper meaning here is simple. She's checking whether you have a center. A man with a center can give, but he does not leak himself everywhere just to stay liked. That matters because people trust boundaries, even when they pretend not to. A person who has none feels unstable. What should you notice? Notice how you feel in the moment. If you instantly feel pressure to earn her approval, that is exactly the spot the test is exposing. The sixth sign is when she says something a little contradictory. She might say she wants honesty, then react strongly when you are honest. She might say she likes confident men, then get quiet when you stop chasing. She might say one thing, then reward another. This confuses almost every guy, because he thinks the test is about obeying her words. It is not. It is about whether you can read reality without losing yourself. A lot of women do not test through logic. They test through experience. They want to feel what kind of man you are under mixed signals. Can you stay observant? Can you avoid begging for a clean script? Can you notice the difference between her stated preference and her emotional response? That matters because social intelligence is not just hearing words, it is reading patterns. What should you notice? Notice what behavior gets warmth, what behavior gets distance. The truth is usually there, not in the speech. And here's the part most men never hear. Not every test is toxic. Sometimes it is immature. Sometimes it is unfair. But very often it is human. People test what they are afraid to trust. She may be testing your confidence, your patience, your boundaries, your emotional control, because she has seen too many men look strong when everything is easy, then fall apart. The second tension enters the room. That is why the biggest mistake is reacting like every test is an attack. The smartest move is to see it clearly. Stay calm, stay self-respecting, and never let one emotional moment pull you out of character. Because when she tests you, she is not just asking if you like her. She is asking if being with you feels safe, steady, and real. And the answer is almost never in what you say. It is in what you become under pressure. So, if she does this, do not rush to impress, do not rush to chase, do not rush to prove. Notice the behavior. Notice your reaction, and remember this. A woman can learn more from one pressured moment than from 10 perfect conversations. If you can stay grounded there, you already stand out. And if you want more scripts that sharpen your awareness like this, stay close. Because most people miss what matters right in front of them.